Hi everyone, this is Abhishek, and in this video we are going to discuss about container widgets. What are container widgets, and what are some of the properties of container widgets, and why and when we should not use container widgets. So this is very important, like when you should not use container widgets. Okay, so let's first of all understand what are container widgets. So what containers in Flutter do. Let me draw it with a proper rectangle. So let's say this is a container. Okay, so the responsibility of this container is to actually give styling to its children. So if we have a children, let's say some text. Okay, so this is the responsibility of now the container, to give it some, some properties like color. Okay, and it can also give it many other properties, like here you can see some padding, and it can give it some margin, and like many other properties. Okay, we'll just discuss about the properties, but the basic thing you need to understand over here is that it gives the styling, or you can say a home to a child, uh, widget, right? So let's do some coding over here. So let's say if we have a text over here that is hello world, like this. Okay, so it doesn't has any, you know any container as parent. It just has a center as a parent. So this is the output that we get. Okay, now if we use a container like this, if we use a container as apparent. Now why it is showing an error? Because we are not actually, we are just passing, like we are just using the child only, and we are not giving it any of the properties that container has. So let's give it a container property, that is height, and let's give it 5. And yeah, actually we need to also remove the constant from over here. Okay, and let's say not 5 only, we need to give it some bigger size. Let's say, because the size of the text is already 40, so we need to give it at least 60, right? Then we need to give it some width, that could be I guess it could be 200. Okay, so what now in this case, what is happening, we're just giving the height of this container, right? The height of this container, and we are giving the width of this container. Can we also give the color? So we can just hover over here, and you can just check that what are the properties that it is offering. So you can see we have properties like alignment, we have properties like padding, we have properties like color. Okay, many other properties. So let's give it a color property, color, and colors dot red, right? So now if you check over here, yeah, it has a color. Actually what happened over here, that I need to give it a bigger height and width. So let's give it 100 width, height, and let's give it 500. Okay, I'm just reloading it. You can see, yeah, over here we have hello world in the container, within the container. Now, can't we do this without the help of container? Is it possible? Yeah, it was possible. It was very easily, like it could be done with the help of only text. So if I just remove this color from here, if I remove it from here, and if I just give the color over here in the text style, so the text widget already has the styling properties. So we have text style over here, so we are just giving it font size, and along with this we can give it color. So we can give it colors, sorry, background color, actually background color, background color, and color dot, let's say, green, right? What happened? Constant. Okay, we need to just give it a constant. Okay, we didn't give it a proper name. Yeah, this was the problem. Now let's reload it. Now you can see, wait a minute. Okay, now you can see we have hello world with the background color as green. Okay, now you can see that we have given the background color green to the hello world. Now we can also adjust height and width with many other widgets that we have. Like for example, we have padding widget, we have a sized box, we have many other widgets. So we can do the same thing that the container is doing for us by other ways. But what container is doing, it is just giving all the properties that we need to style a child at one place. So this is the most important benefit of container widgets. Things we would be doing with the help of many other widgets could be done only with the help of containers. So this is the benefit that we get over here in the containers. So this is the benefit. And why we should not use containers, we should not use containers if we are not actually, in this case only, look at this, we are just using height and width. Okay, we are not giving it any other property. So we have some properties like padding. Okay, we have a padding property. You can actually use a widget also. There is also a widget for padding that just gives padding to the children. But as I told you that container has padding in itself, so we can give padding over here, right? All, let's say 50. Okay, 50. If I save it and if I reload it, and let's give the color back over there. Okay, so that we can understand like the padding is given to it or not. So let's say colors dot green, right? And let's reload it. Look at this. What happened? Text, everything is fine, everything is looking great. Let's go to 10 padding. Okay, now actually a padding of 10 is added. Now let's increase the padding. Let's increase the padding by 20. Okay, now what happened? Again the padding increased, right? Similarly we can also give margin to it. Okay, so there is also a property of margin. So there are many properties that a container has, right? But in some cases, previously when I was just learning Flutter, I was using containers everywhere because it was looking like container has so many properties that it looks like we can use it anywhere. But we should not do this. For example, if you're just doing this, right? Look at this. We're just doing this. We're just giving height and width to the children, and we're not using it, like we're not using any of the property of container. We're just saving it and we're using it like this. So there will be some scenarios where you will be just using height and width. You will just need height and width, and you will be using container for that. But it is not recommended, right? So what will be the output? This will be the output. Okay, this will be the output. But this is wrong because you're not utilizing the container. Okay, so in this case, look at this. It is also recommending you to actually use sized box. So there is a widget that is sized box, which you can use over here, right? I just reload it. Look, you're getting the same output. So what I just told you, that if you are not using properly container, then you should not use containers. If there is any alternative, like for example, if you're just using containers for padding, it is recommended to just use padding widget. Okay, so for example, if you're just using containers, we're just giving a padding, right? Like this padding. Okay, what happened? Edge insets, not all. Let's give it 20. And this, what happened over here? Constant. Okay, we need to just remove it. Container. Yeah, so we are just using containers for padding. Any other property that we are going like there is no any other property that we are giving to the children, right? Only the padding. So it will give us the output. It will definitely, like we are not able to see it. For watching it, we need to add a color. Okay, so like I'm just telling you that a padding is added over here. Okay, we can't see this padding because of the because there is no color over here. So no problem. I'm just telling you that you can do the same thing without using this, but actually using a padding widget, right? Like this, right? You can do this, very simple, right? But some people just use containers for a single property that it has. So this is very wrong. Okay, in that case you should not use containers, but use the, if there is any related, if there is any related widget to to that property. For example, padding, we have this padding widget, and for sized box we have height and width. For height and width we have size box, right? So this is recommended. So this was all about containers, what we do with containers, and I hope you have understood the reason why we use containers, right? To just give styling properties to a children widget. Okay, this is the very simple definition, a one liner definition. To give styling properties to the children widget, we use containers, right?